7, we have this Black Start exercise that is about to go into effect on the 26th at around 4 a.m. local time at Camp Riley. This is located pretty much smack dab center in the middle of the country. And they've put out multiple videos on this from different garrison commanders, even the director there at Fort Riley, all making statements about this event, how people should be prepared. They're warning that traffic lights are going to be out, that this could disrupt communications, and that there could be a series of events that happen during this exercise. They expect it to last a minimum of 8 hours. They say that emergency services will not be affected. But on top of that, we have rolling blackouts being planned. And we're getting word now that in places like Pennsylvania, we have information being sent out to people inside of workplaces that are saying that, look, you need to shut off certain appliances, your air conditioner, TV, computer, all kinds of different stuff, or else your power bill is going to go up, and you need to do so when we say so. And they sent out these emails and letters to people kind of warning them that this is what's about to happen here within the next 24 hours. So this is all going into motion. As much as we talk about the grid going down, lights out, and all that, well, this goes right along with it, hand in hand. Sometimes they have these exercises and events locked in hand with things that go live. But this is Dabu 7. We now have another emergency declared in terms of heat in the power grid here in the United States, and we're looking at some of the peak weather that we've seen thus far this year in terms of high temperatures. A lot of areas seeing this heat dome that was parked over the west shift to the east, and it's left a lot of people out there baking. And yesterday they put out this alert saying that they were going to start to initiate these rolling blackouts. I've got emails and alerts from people all across the board saying that their area or areas around them are experiencing rolling blackouts or blackouts. People are being asked to shut off appliances. They're getting alerts on their phones. They're getting emails asking them to shut off their computers, all other stuff inside the house for a number of hours. And I fear that this is the new norm. You're going to start to see this more and more as they continue to push this climate agenda on the masses. But when it comes to the whole grid, it should be known right now that it's not the climate or climate anything right now that's got us in this situation. They do state that the hot weather alerts here help to prepare people out there to get ready for situations where the lights go out, and to have a generator is key. A good gas generator, solar generator, or to have a combination is key. Hedge your bets, so to speak, there. Have a couple different options if you can. At least have one, especially if we see a lights out scenario for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, up to a week. You're going to wish that you had something instead of sitting in the baking heat with nothing.
Oh, hi. I'm a power blackout. I'm going to take your power and severely inconvenience you. Boom, boom, boom. Lights out, everybody. What is that?
It's the Yeti 3000X solar generator, a home backup system from Goal Zero. It powers your freezer, lights, Wi-Fi, TV, and more, all with clean energy from the sun. So yeah, take that blackout. Woo! You got owned! Now you're about to get owned.
No generator is meant to operate 24 hours. Generator is an intervention for a short while. Even those who have generators will not be saved from the mess we are going into. We warned you. We went to the streets because we knew this was coming. reality is that it's darkness. And it's not going to be darkness of 12 hours or 24 hours, it comes back. No. At times it's going to take 3 to 4 days. At times it will take a week. At times it will take a month without electricity. The whole leadership must go.
Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashai, Waharakakwadash. In Hebrew, that's giving all praises to the Most High Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahawashai, who is our Lord and Savior, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, along with the Holy Spirit, who taught us this truth. Honors to the brethren that's laboring doing the work to push the gospel, risking their life and freedom to do so. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, which should be the true biblical Israelites, the true believers among the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, who sincerely return back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi during these final moments, so that He will have mercy on us in judgment. We back with another lesson to the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. This lesson is going to be titled, Esau is a Cunning Hunter. Don't fall for that generator talk. Yeah, because the blackout is the next thing that's trending, as we saw from the 2 videos from Dabu 7. You know, a black star exercise, the military going in, practicing drills amid a power outage. Now they're telling the people to get generators, which is a trap and a snare. And then you saw after, I had a generator commercial. Now that's the spirit. All things are through the spirit. Now all of a sudden, you got generator commercials, making the blackout to appear to be a bad thing, which it will be if you're not part of the elect. And then you see from this brother here, you know, they got the same thing going on in Africa. But he said a generator is an intervention. It's not a permanent solution. And that a generator, you know, it's not going to last you for a week, for weeks, or months at a time. You know, it's a short-term solution to the bigger problem. And then towards the end of the video, he said it's not going to just be a blackout for a day or two. It might be weeks or months. So that generator not going to do you no good. And then we're going to show in the scriptures how it kind of goes against the scriptures to get a generator. All right, so first we're going to start with the book of Revelation, chapter 18. We're going to start at verse 7. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. Who is this her? Lady Liberty. So this is talking about you Americans. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. Yeah, so all the things that Americans glorify themselves with. You know, all the luxuries they got. First world privileges, such as what? You know, online dating, computers, laptops, cell phones, social media, Snapchat, IG, Facebook, vehicles, electric vehicles, charging stations for the electric vehicles, going out dating to restaurants, bars, malls, shopping. You know, the American life. You know, these are all the things that Americans have to glorify themselves. These first world privileges. Well, the scriptures say how much she, Lady Liberty, you Americans have glorified yourself and lived deliciously with all your luxuries, so much torment and sorrow give her. So for all the good things that you Americans had, the Lord is going to meet that with torment and sorrow. So for all the good times, the Lord got a bad time planned for you now. For all the glory, luxuries, comfortabilities you had, the Lord going to replace that with misery. So again, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she's safe in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. Yeah, that's how these Americans feel, that they will never see a dark day. And that dark day is coming, metaphorical and literal. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Yeah, since they never thought they'd see a dark day, well, her plagues are going to come in one day. Death and mourning and famine. And after all that, she shall be utterly burned with fire. That's the nuclear destruction. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. But let's go back up. It says her plagues will come in one day. So everything is going to happen at once. What's that one day? The day of the blackout. In which I got that same precept in the NLT. So the NLT, which is over here to the right, we're going to read the same thing. Therefore, these plagues will overtake her in a single day. Yeah, so in a single day, all these plagues, death, mourning, famine, is going to overtake you Americans. And that makes sense that it will be a blackout because all your first world privileges, Wi-Fi, internet, cell phone service, vehicles, gas station, your water and plumbing, city water, the tap water, all that is tied to the grid. Your banks, financial institutions, cash apps, Apple Pay, that's all tied to the grid. So if the grid collapses, rather it be an EMP attack, a solar flare, or Esau turn off the power, that's going to bring great misery to the people. That's going to bring about the plagues. Because soon as the power grid go out, what's the death going to come from? Everybody that's on ICU, intensive care unit, or they on life support, or they have a pacemaker, some kind of electrical device, that keeps their heart beating at a regular rhythm. And, those on oxygen tanks, those people on ventilators, life support, they're going to be the first ones to go. Or those who need close medical care and attention, which that's another first world privilege. The hospital and the medical service offered here in America, almost top of the line. That's going to contribute to the death. When the power come out, what's the mourning? The great misery. People having all their liberties taken from them, their hobbies, everything that they love and enjoy and glorify themselves with, it's going to be taken from them in the blackout. No internet, no social media, no TV, video games, entertainment, no traveling, no vacation, no more having fun, no money, no shopping, no malls, no eating. What you gonna eat at the power out? You're gonna be eating canned food or dry food. So that's a contribute to the mourning. Also, everybody that died as soon as the blackout happened, and then that's gonna also contribute to the famine because the famine is already put in place. There's already a food shortage. All they need to have happen is the grocery stores to go empty. And that will happen in the blackout because that's the first thing people going to do. They're going to panic buy or steal and loot. Grocery stores going to be empty in a day. No more than 2 days, all the stores going to be empty. And then there go your famine. And then half the food going to be of no use, no good after a few days. Because with no refrigerators, no freezers, everything's going to unthaw, spoil you, mold, go bad. So half the food supply is already out of there in like 2 or 3 days. So yeah, therefore shall her plagues come in one day. In the NLT, it read, therefore these plagues will overtake her in a single day. So this in one day, that blackout, death, mourning, and famine is going to overtake the people. And that day is coming. We only going to get so many warnings. And see, Esau trying to tell the people to get a generator. Well, we got to understand something about Esau real quick. You know, his character. But for the beginners, let's see Genesis 25 and 25. This is the birth of Esau. And the first came out red. And white people are not white, they're red. That's why they call themselves rednecks. So this is the birth of the first so-called white man in the Bible named Esau. The first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. A hairy garment because they're the true caveman. But when we come down to verse 27, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man. And that's one of the key attributes of Caucasians or white people. They're cunning hunters, you know, and especially up north in November, we have something called hunting season. White men all over the state, they get excused days off from work, from school to go hunting. And then not only that, they like to hunt, not for survival, but for the thrill of the kill. And then they hunt Native Americans and Negroes in the city streets, just like they hunt these animals in the wild. That's why you got so many species going extinct. It's some Esau the cunning hunter. But two things that a hunter must be equipped with. Well, first they need to be equipped with a weapon that takes life. We know Genesis, the 27th chapter, Esau was blessed with the sword. So every hunter has a weapon. Also, things that a hunter needs. A hunter is going to need to have bait, something to lure, to distract the prey. So again, and the boys grew, Esau was a cunning or a deceptive hunter. And that deceptive hunter is going to have a sword and it's going to have bait. Now, I want to get the definition for that word bait. Food used to entice fish or other animals as prey. But we can also go down to this here. To prepare a hook, trap, net with bait to entice fish or animals of prey. Well, Esau is going to prepare a generator that's going to act as a trap to trap you people inside of your homes. And I'm going to just click this word decoy real quick. It reads to lure or entice a person away from an intended course, typically into a trap. So Esau is trying to sell and push these generators to trap the people. And really, getting a generator is a false doctrine. Because with a generator, that comes with a whole set of beliefs, such as staying in your home, you know, your luxuries, your first world privileges getting took from you, you thinking you're going to be able to prolong those things or restore them. Which, like the African said, a generator not going to save nobody from the mess that we about to get into with this blackout. So now we know that Esau is a cunning hunter. Hunters have weapons and they have bait. Well, that bait will be the generator. So when we come to the book of Psalms, chapter 69, verse 22, let their table become a snare before them. And what's this table? It's not a literal physical table. It's your plan. So for example, when you got a table and you got a plan, you roll out the paperwork. You got your plan, your schemes. You got everything written out and laid out. That's the table. What you set your mind on. What you set your heart on. Your plan, what you believe is going to work for you. So again, let their table, their schemes, their plans become a snare or a trap before them. So some people's table is full of generators. You know, we got a generator for this, we got a generator for that. We can recharge them. We can refuel them. We got 2, 3 generators. We got a backup generator. Well, those generators is going to be a snare and a trap for those who trust in them. And that which should have been for the welfare, let it become a trap. Yes, so the generator, you think that it'll be for your welfare. You think that it'll be for your benefit. You know, you think that it will restore some of your luxuries. You think it'll give you a sense of comfortability through the blackout. You thought it would be for your welfare, but it's going to become a trap unto you. Because let's say the whole city block go out, but you the only house that got power. Or everybody in the surrounding area is about to raid your house and take everything you got. It's going to be like moths to a flame. So again, let their table become a snare before them, and that which should have been their welfare, let it become a trap. So the thing that you think is going to help you or benefit you in a blackout, such as a generator, that's going to become a trap to you. Verse 23, let their eyes be darkened. What's their eyes being darkened? You know, that's a sense of no hope. Like the scriptures say, the day of the Lord is all darkness and no light. No light meaning what? There's no hope. So it's all darkness. Also meaning that the way of truth will be hidden. You know, they will be blind to what's going on. And this is also literal. Let their eyes be darkened. It's going to go black. You're not going to see nothing before you. So again, let their eyes be darkened. No hope. Not knowing what to do. Let their eyes be darkened that they see not. Meaning they don't see what's going on. They don't see in the spirit. But literally, people are literally not going to see. It's going to be pitch black. And I do this from time to time when I'm driving down the back road at night. I cut the lights off of my car just to prepare my mind for the pitch blackness that we're going to be in the midst of. Sometimes I'll go walking in the middle of the night to some of the blackest areas that I could find just to prepare my mind for it. So again, let their eyes be darkened that they see not. Yeah. This is spiritual and literal. Make their loins continually to shake. You know, when you're nervous, when you're perplexed. Perplexed goes into being in doubt, not being sure of yourself, not knowing how to move or what actions to take, not having the answers to what's going on. That's your eyes being darkened. But people's vision is literally going to be darkened. We're going to be at a disadvantage. And also going back to the book of Genesis, we know Esau was a cunning hunter. Well, what has Esau been doing with his military? He upgraded all his night vision equipment. And I got a video of that night vision equipment. You know, the results of it. What it's going to allow them to see. So again, the things which will have been for your welfare is going to be a trap unto you. And your hope, your eyes are going to be darkened and you're not going to see. You're not going to see with your physical eyes, and even in the spirit, you're not going to know what to do or even see what's going on. All right, so now we're going to go to the book of Luke chapter 21, verse 20. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Now let's break this down. When you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, this not talking about physical Jerusalem. This talking about the people of Jerusalem, the true Jews, who will be you so-called Negroes, and also the rest of Israel, the Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. And where is most of the Lord's people at in America? So not physical Jerusalem, but the people of Jerusalem will be compassed with armies. Now let's read this in the NLT as well, which I broke this down before, but it's just best to have as much proof as possible. Now, what this is saying is that the people of Israel here in America were going to be surrounded with armies. Now, let's get that in the NLT. And when you see Jerusalem, the people of Jerusalem, Israel, surrounded by armies, how are we going to be surrounded by armies? This is the cities in America being locked down under martial law. And that's why last month we saw a heavy deployment of military troops and equipment throughout America in all the major cities. They getting ready to what? To surround Jerusalem with armies. Really, we all over America, so really, it's going to be military personnel all over this thing to lock down the city streets of America. So again, when you see Jerusalem, which is talking about America, surrounded by armies, then you will know that the time of its destruction has arrived. And that's going to be destruction of what? Destruction of not physical Jerusalem, but the people of Jerusalem. So having a generator in your house, to restore some of your luxuries, to prolong your stay in your house, that's false doctrine. That's going to make you a sitting duck. You're going to be plucked. So again, that which should have been for your welfare, let it be a trap. So the things you think are going to save you is actually going to be a trap. And why is it going to be a trap? Because you're going to be a sitting duck when the enemy come in like a flood. Your house, the inner city, that's going to be the last place anybody wants to be. And the next verse is going to prove it. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains. So those who are in the cities flee to the wilderness, in other words. Let them which are in the midst of it depart out. In the midst of what? In the midst of the city. Depart, get out of the city. Meaning what? Flee. The scriptures say we're going to flee as a bird. Ultimately going into the chariots, but we're going to flee to the wilderness. That's prophesied in the scriptures. And let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. So if you already outside of the inner city, don't enter into the cities. Now we're going to read this in the NLT. Then those in Judea, the cities, must flee to the hills, flee to the wilderness. Those in Jerusalem, in the cities, must get out. Because where are most of our people cooped up at? In the cities, the ghettos, the slums. Speaking for the so-called Negroes, so-called Mexicans, most of us are in the inner cities. It's not too many of us, by large number, that's in the suburbs, in the gated communities. We mainly in the inner cities. So again, those in Jerusalem must get out, and those out in the country shall not return to the city. So yeah, if you in the city, you're going to flee. If you already outside of the city, you're going to stay where you at, but still flee. And that's why having a generator is going to be a trap and a snare unto you and everybody that trusts in it. That's why Esau Edom, the Cunning Hunter, is pushing for people to get generators. Because people really going to think they in a good case. People going to be washing laundry, watching movies, making home-cooked meals, not knowing that their house is the only house that's lit up. A target for bloodthirsty Americans that's desperate, and also Esau Edom to what? To come kick in your door. Because ultimately, that's what it's going to do. And those who got a generator or trust in that, their eyes already darkened. They already blinded to the facts, to the truth of what's going on and what's going to happen. And in the spirit, they already don't see the danger that's coming. It's going to be fully manifested in a blackout when their vision is literally darkened and they literally can't see. All right. And we're going to now jump to the book of 2nd Ezra. I believe we're going to start at verse 70. through 72. Because again, the inner cities of America is going to be surrounded with armies, and we're going to have to make a run for it. Now, Second Ezra, actually, we're going to get verse 40 and 42. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be as pilgrims upon the earth. So the Lord is commanding us to be as pilgrims. What's a pilgrim? A wanderer. They not set in one spot. They on a constant move. And what's the definition or characteristics of a pilgrim? Let's get it here. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. And he that buyeth as one that will lose. So you may have material wealth, personal items. We still working day to day, but we ready to lose it at a moment's notice. At the lights go out, the enemy come in like a flood, and the Lord puts it on our spirit to flee out of the city, to flee out of our homes. You know, we obtaining, we gaining, but we ready to lose it at any moment. We ready to leave it behind. That's a characteristic of a pilgrim. And let's continue. He that occupieth merchandise as he that have no profit by it. So we still may be buying, you know, material wealth, whether it be clothing, food, other household items, you know, things that we own. We still getting paychecks weekly or every 2 weeks. But what? We already count it as a loss. We don't count it as no profit. Why? But because we planning on losing it, forsaking it, leaving it behind. And he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. So if you built your home or you bought your home, yeah, you got it for now, but you got it with plans of leaving it. You living in it now, but you don't plan on dwelling in it for too much longer. Especially when you see the enemy come in like a flood, Jerusalem being surrounded by the U.S. military. That's the definition of a pilgrim. That's why the Lord said, be as pilgrims upon the earth. Don't be tied to your house. Don't let the generator keep you inside. When the Lord clearly said that we're going to make a run for it. All right, so now, why is the Lord telling us to not dwell in our own houses? Why is he telling us to flee out of the city, flee to the wilderness? Hey, if we already in the wilderness, don't return back to the city. Well, let's get that in 2nd Ezra. We're going to go down to verse 70 through 72. For this shall be in every place and in the next cities. So every city, every ghetto in America, there's going to be a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Really a great uprising with the military upon you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. Because the time of destruction has arrived in which the white man is going to try to annihilate, exterminate our people from the face of the earth. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So if your generator got you cooped up in a house, your door gonna get kicked in and Esau gonna throw you up out your house anyway. Probably while your girl in a robe got rollers in her head. And you men probably just gonna be in boxers, probably high, probably passed out. You know, food, eating some food that you shouldn't have been eating anyway. But you had a generator, so then you had the ability to cook food that's gonna make you full and weigh you down. You will sit and duck. We're going to go up to verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you being idle. Take away certain of you, take you from where? Take you out of your homes. So a generator is false doctrine. Don't fall for that generator talk. And it says they shall take away certain of you who fear the Lord, mainly those who invested in the truth. And they can only take you away if you idle. What's idle? Mean you're not moving. So if you got a generator and you cooped up in a house, you still living like it's not a blackout, you're idle. You're not moving. You're not being a pilgrim. So they shall take away certain of you and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. So they're going to kick in your door, cast you out of your house, take you away. Since you wasn't being a pilgrim, they're going to lock you up in the FEMA death camp. And what they're going to be doing to you once they take you out of your house. Well, that's Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And we know what this is, that RFID microchip, the mark of the beast. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So that's ultimately what's going on. So before we close out, we're going to play these one more time.
Oh, hi. I'm a power blackout. I'm going to take your power and severely inconvenience you. Boom, boom, boom. Lights out, everybody. What is that?
It's the Yeti 3000X solar generator, a home backup system from Goal Zero. It powers your freezer, lights, Wi-Fi, TV, and more, all with clean energy from the sun. So yeah, take that blackout. Woo! You got owned!
Hey, you don't want to be like that dude in the blackout. You know, you a goner.
Keep them. No generator is meant to operate 24 hours. Generator is an intervention for a short while. Even those who have generators will not be saved from the mess we are going into. We want you. We went to the streets. And it's not going to be darkness of 12 hours or 24 hours, it comes back. No. At times it's going to take 3 to 4 days. At times it will take a week. At times it will take a month without electricity. The whole leadership must go.
Hey, so yeah. A generator ain't going to last you forever if you get that far. Hey, that's it for this lesson here. Don't fall for that generator talk. Hey, that goes against the scripture. Be ready to be a pilgrim. All right, till next time, Shalom.